at this cover right here. Oh my God, that's a firm belief in your IP right there. When you're dedicating over 75% of your comic book cover to the title. I mean, it's a great title. Everybody knows Predator. You don't even if there wasn't a new Predator movie that was coming out or is out or whatever, I'm sure it sucks. But there's a certain legacy to the Predator we all know and love. So I gotta tell you, props for having the balls to go for this. And then down here, we've got a Predator who's playing Hamlet. We got some Predator performing arts down here. And I gotta tell you, if my local theater, every year they do the Nutcracker, if you told me that they were going to be wearing Predator, full-on Predator costumes and masks, I would be like, you know what, I don't really remember how the Sugar Plum Fairy goes. I need to see that. I would at least consider it. I'm not considering going and seeing the Nutcracker. Yeah. I don't care for plays, but if you tell me there are Predators there, I'm gonna have to think on it. So this is another subscriber recommendation. You know the drill here, people. I think your name is Jesse, James. Am I thinking of Team Rocket? Either way, if I'm funny, interesting, whatever, you gotta share it. But if you've shared my videos before, don't worry about it, because that shit it's kind of annoying. So he told me to check into this because I seem like the type that I would like Predator, and I gotta tell you, I have never seen the original Predator from beginning to end. I've seen Predator 2 like 3 times. But I'm very into the look. He told me to look into this because of my affinity for decapitations. I love them. They're not in comic books enough. But recently I did read Thor Vikings Max series. I swear to God, there's like a decapitation every page, and some pages have multiple decapitations. So we're looking at it like a 2.5 average decapitation on per page. So if you're into a little head play, go read that. So let's just get into this. I mean, I joked about the cover, but it's very striking. I'm into it. I'm thinking about this guy's dreams of performing at the Predator Planet Opera House while they're doing Shakespearean opera. I don't know. I'm just literally trying to combine all the fancy things I know. But his dumb father wants him to be a predator hunter. Was that an oxymoron? Not an oxymoron. Redundant. But it's like, yeah, they're hunters, but they're also predators who are into woodworking, and their fathers look down on them, and this guy, he's just trying to make his dad proud, but he loves acting, and his father thinks acting's kind of gay. So, let's just get in on this. Bam! Immediately we are seeing the jungle scene. This is what I like to see here. We see some guys, they're running around. 3 of them. Black guy, I feel like you're not going to make it. Got this guy looking like a Maori warrior. I am into it. So, Jesus Christ. Fuck. Okay. Eye contact with a predator, I don't think I've had the pleasure. I'm just saying, when I'm looking at a predator, I'm looking right in the jowls. Because it's got more than 4 teeth, but it's got four prominent teeth, and I kind of want to be looking at them. So I know where they are in space relative to my location. But this is some serious, like, don't look too hard because you will fall in love. And that's going to be a tough sell to your parents, I'm telling you right now. You bring your predator home, you got to have him wear the helmet for at least like the first decade. But let's be honest, like, I feel like predators are not into long-term relationships. So these guys, they're running. And of course he gets trapped because predators are efficient. I mean, predator, hunter, they're synonyms. So we see this guy, he's getting, well, like a, you know that thing, it's been in every cartoon, but this part really gets me, okay? We see, he yells, "Please God help me." Totally logical thing that anybody would say when they get trapped. I mean, I would just start gnawing at my foot right away. Even if I have, a knife or something, no. Gnawing off the foot, because I go full fucking bore at all times. But he yells, "Please God help me." And this fucking Maori warrior here says, "Not even God can help him now." Holy shit. Number one, I feel like Maoris, they aren't allowed to be atheists. I feel like that it isn't right. Please support the charity of Maori people can be atheists in the link below. Change.org petition to allow them to be atheists. But they still have to play rugby because, I mean, their bodies are made for it. But, Jesus, like, I think I've mentioned before, I'm an atheist. But when I'm thinking of me, like, atheist is probably like the number 10th thing down the list. But this is like, hey, this is some hardcore atheism right now. We do not need that shit in the jungle. No hardcore atheism in the jungle. Can we just make that a rule, please? So he's like, you know what? There is no God. Let's ditch him. He's still perfectly alive. But then it starts raining blood. Cue the Slayer. And we see them. They just start running because you need to always be running. And we see this, and I gotta tell you, I was ready for the entire jungle to just be mowed down. I know they have a lot of creatures in there. It produces a lot of oxygen. What do we need oxygen for? But this really ties the whole jungle together. I mean, look at this. Beautifully crafted. See, we call predators hunters, sportsmen. No one's ever called a predator a sportsman, but I'm doing it now. Breaking ground. But nobody ever talks about how well they use skulls as decoration. I mean, this is like... did Jeffrey Dahmer live long enough? I'm not even that into serial killers. I feel like I bring him up all the time. But, like, Jeffrey Dahmer, I wish he was alive to see this. And I wish also those, like, 14 young boys were alive. So they could also see this. But this guy, they're still here, their friend, he's alive. But the Maori guy's like, nuh-uh. Marcel is fucking dead. Don't name your kids Marcel. It's kind of whack. So they start running some even more, and then we finally see the predator. Look at this, and he's mimicking Marcel's talk. He's recorded him. He's downloaded him in his predator noodle. But look at this. This is what I'm talking about. Nobody talks about how the predators are really good tailors. They're really good taxiderm. Can you really call them a taxidermist? Because I mean, they're just doing with skulls. Like, there's probably a name for a person who just is into the skull business. I feel like cow skulls are a very lucrative business in the little southern part of the United States, but I don't know if they have a name for it. But look at this. First of all, pretty fucking jacked. I'm liking that. But see, he's got his bone work is absolutely critical to the outfit, and I feel like he's nailing it. He's got a skull here. He's got a skull on his knees, and I gotta ask you, this is the most important question you're going to hear all day. What animal or person, type of person, are these skulls made out of? Because look, this one's bigger, and my mind immediately went to kangaroo. I don't know why, but I feel like they probably have an interesting skull shape. And I feel like they're hard. Because the kangaroo skull has to also be able to take kangaroo blows to the face. And like 99.9% of the kangaroo population are also professional boxers. So I gotta assume they got a chin on them. This is smaller. My mind went to squirrel, but I don't know with that gel. And I got to tell you, I feel like the skull that you use as a codpiece, it's got to be prestigious. It's got to be a dangerous animal, or possibly endangered or something. Because I mean, basically, what I'm asking is, what animal skull would you put to cover your dick as a codpiece? You know what I'm going with? I'm going with hammerhead shark. Yes, it's an awkward shape, but people will remember me. Because I mean, I feel like I'm saying I gotta tell you. But in my town, everybody's walking around with skulls on their dicks. And it's a lot of the same. It's a lot of the same shapes. It gets to the point where I don't even look at people's crotches anymore. Because it's like, yes, I get it. It's a fucking chicken. It's not interesting to look at. But if I'm doing that, dude, it's spread out. It's wide. I'm maybe catching it on stuff. I'm turning heads. What skull are you going with? So he just goes fucking crazy. They start running some more. The Maori guy. He gets murdered, and he doesn't get into the kingdom of heaven because he had to bring the atheism into the jungle. There's no place for that. Come on. And this guy eventually, he rips out the fucking dreads, and that's where their power is. You gotta rip out the dreads. Especially if you get in a fight with someone, and they got dreads, rip them out. Just fucking yank with all the power of the Lord Jesus Christ. Especially if they're white. If they're white, you're doing them a favor. Like, the cultural appropriation, that shit's not real, but, like, have you ever seen a white person with dreads and been like, they got their shit together? Wow. That guy, he's got a portfolio. And I'm not talking about his shitty Grateful Dead drawings. I'm talking stocks. I'm talking bonds. I'm talking whatever. So he grabs the dreads. He ripped them out, but eventually he falls down a cliff and he emerges in the water. And then we get into the what's really going on. I mean, I'm like 4 pages in, and this comic is giving me a lot of stuff here. There was some decapitation, but not as much as I want. So we see this place. It's called the Snake Pit. We see this guy here. He's an Indian, Native American, First Nations, whatever you want to call him. He's called Enoch, and I know that's a biblical name, but I don't know what the fuck. I don't know the passage. I don't know anything about it. I didn't even know it was a biblical name till like 2 years ago, so that's the level I'm working at. So he says, he's like, look, off panel, you need to, what the fuck, change my goddamn oil. And he's like, just finishing up, what's the problem? The problem is your goddamn mouthy attitude. Yeah, how dare you ask what's the problem, and to say that you are about to finish that problem. And he's talking about to ask him to feed the snakes, and then he says, remember the goddamn Alamo. Now, I'm about to shoot shots fired at the Alamo. Ooh, there's a level of irony in there if I really in my history. But can we just put a moratorium on Remember the Alamo? Pee Wee Herman helped me remember it. I've seen it in real life. Gotta tell you, not that memorable. I wouldn't remember it if I wasn't constantly being told to fucking remember that shit. How about San Antonio? How about you get some new shit? Forget the Alamo. Forget it. I'm sick of it. So he's attempting to feed these goddamn snakes, but I'm gonna be honest, let them starve. Let them fucking starve to death. So you see these people, and we got this guy with this kind of mustache here, which signals to me that he's either super gay or super straight. Think of Prince. That's always my example. Prince was so straight, he had to act gay as fuck. And I think this guy might do it. We got a lady in a power suit. We got this guy who just looks exasperated at the situation. And you think they look like cops, but they're not sent from a government agency. They tell you, even though, you know, they look like it. And they're like, he's like, snakes are out back in the spaceman. Ooh, what does that mean? I'm like, look, we just want to talk to you. Here's a wad of cash. Hell yeah, let's talk. So they're here. They're not with a government agency, but they're here because this guy, he's got experience with predators. He killed one at some point or whatever. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to give you a little song and dance about this spaceman we got. And got it back here. I mean, I would stop on the side of the highway. You tell me you got a spaceman? You tell me you got a spaceman? Bullshit. Prove it. Show me. But apparently it's all stitched together. This guy, calls him Squano. He's a little bit of a racist because, I mean, if you encounter a Native American, you have to give them shit. They're too proud with their high cheekbones and browned skin. Cut that shit out. Take them down a peg or two. They're too confident. They're like, look, is this really what you want to be doing with your life? Working at changing oil at a roadside gas station or whatever the fuck? And so he's like, you know what? I need to feed the goddamn snakes, lady. So they leave. Then this guy, he starts giving them shit again. And I feel like when you're talking shit, or don't talk shit when you're in a room that doesn't have snakes. I mean, this is pretty, I mean, the way they were selling it, I was thinking there were going to be way more snakes than 2. But don't talk shit in a room full of snakes, because somebody might fucking lose it, and then you're getting snakes rain down on you. And I gotta tell you, fuck this dude. Fuck that shit. He just murdered this man. He murdered him with snakes. Fuck off. I don't like snakes. I'm not afraid of them. Don't even accuse me of being afraid of them. I don't like them. And this is a fucking nightmare scenario for me. So fuck this. And eventually he does go with them, and they relay their problem here. They've had a base in the jungle. And this guy, he comes out and he's like, hey, did anybody leave their spinal cord and their skull on the base grounds? Because we're trying to keep the base clean. I'm honestly tired of finding just fucking random skulls and spinal cords everywhere. Clean up your mess. This shit shouldn't be in the kitchen. A lot of stuff's going down. You find out that these characters all have had connections with the Predators, which is like, I feel like since all of these people have had encounters with Predators, I mean, how many Predators have I encountered? I mean, Was there just a day where I didn't make eye contact and didn't notice fucking jowls and shit and dreadlocks? Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, predators are in the jungle. Guess what? Fucking predators in Afghanistan. Oh my god. Did predators cause 9/11? I don't want to rule it out. I mean, jet fuel, it cannot melt steel beams. What about predator jet fuel? Jesse Ventura is going to show up at my fucking house tomorrow. Oh yeah, you weren't into Afghanistan and the jungle? That was a little bit too much for you? How about fucking Jack the Ripper? Spring Hill Jack, that's his other, little nickname, because you can't catch him. He's going all over the place. Predators hate prostitutes. But they also want to know how their organs work, so he's getting in there, he's digging around, he's doing his research, but like this, holy shit, dude. Predator, fucking, give me this movie. Holy shit, oh my god. Alright, let's just forget about this comic for a second. Let's get into some shit. I'm glad you recommended this to me. This is a total, if you're really into the Predator, get into this shit. But what if there's a period piece movie about Jack the Ripper? It's not from hell, but it's just like, it's got great actors in it. It's totally authentic. And then, in like the third act, it's revealed that it's been a fucking predator this whole time. I felt like my bank account. I feel like $5 just got put in my bank account for that idea. Fucking write it, Hollywood. Don't make me do it. And also the predators were killing tigers in India and stuff. And then he's like, you know what? I'm gonna fucking go with these people because working at a gas station sucks balls. Gotta tell you, little light on the decapitations. Fucking crazy awesome with just the ideas it gave me. Solid fucking recommend. Again, forget the Alamo. What skull are you wearing on your dick? And also, wouldn't predators improve every single play that ever existed? Yes.